This is Pawan. I work as a software engineer, and on this channel, I talk about what really happens behind the code we write at work. And if you have worked with Spring Boot, you have probably noticed something like tutorials look clean, everything works, and the app runs fine. And but in real companies, many Spring Boot projects slowly become messy, hard to change, and difficult to maintain. So, in this video, I want to explain why that happens, not from theory, but from real project experience. So, let's start with something like very common. In most tutorials, you will see everything written inside the controller, database calls, validations, calculations, and all in one place. So this looks fine when the project is small, maybe one or two APIs, but in real projects, controllers start growing very fast. So even one small change means touching like multiple lines of logic, hundreds, thousands of lines. Over time, like controllers become hard to read and even harder to test. So, like in real applications, a controller should only do two things: accept the request and return the response. And all the business logic should live in the service layer. So, and also uh, exposing GPA entities directly. Like another very common mistake is returning GPA entities directly from the APIs. At first, like this feels easy. You already have the entity, so why not return it? So the problem is your database structure and your API become tightly coupled. Now imagine a small change, a small change. You rename a column or add a field only for internal use. Suddenly your API response changes, then front end breaks and the client's breaks. Then introduce DTOs naturally. So this is why DTOs exist. They protect your API from database changes. So the key line here is the database should not decide how your API looks. So and also one more thing I want to talk here about error handling. So in many projects, you will see five catch blocks everywhere: controller layer, service layer, repository layer, try catch everywhere. The result is inconsistent error responses. One API returns 400, another returns 500, and another returns a plain message. From a client's perspective, this is so confusing. So, in real projects, exception handling should be centralized. Spring Boot gives us tools like at the red controller arise with global exception handling, where errors become predictable, consistent, and easier to manage. So, and that is one more problem. And another silent problem is hard coding. Hard coded values, hard coded URLs, hard coded limits. Everything works until requirements changes. In real companies, requirements always change. If your code is tightly coupled or not configurable, even small changes become risky. So Spring Boot is flexible, but only if we design it properly. So Spring Boot is not the problem. The problem is how we design and structure our code. And when we follow only tutorials without understanding real world usage, our projects suffer later. So in the next video, I will explain how a request actually flows inside a Spring Boot application from controller all the way to the database. Thanks for watching.